Hello and good evening. So, welcome to my channel. I am Indranuj and you have started watching the video of the stanzas number 4 and number 5 of a very beautiful romantic poem, a soulful composition by the great poet P.B. Shelley. So, uh, I would be starting where I left yesterday. I have finished stanza number 3 and I would be moving forward with stanza number 4. And in the last 3 stanzas, what we saw is the monumental impact of the west wind, the tremendous force it exerts on the each and every object and aspect of nature, from the trees, the leaves, the clouds, the ocean, the flowers, the seeds. So each and everything which is a part of our natural atmosphere, the west wind has a commanding influence over those objects. And the west wind triggers the change of seasons, the cycle of seasons, the phenomena of birth and death, of regeneration. Means, as I already said, that the west wind has a dual aspect, the destroyer as well as the preserver. So in the sense the west wind is a destroyer, what it actually does is it drives away the dead leaves from the surface of our planet, and towards the end of the autumn season, autumn, as we all know, autumn is usually known as the season of the fall, right? Yes, during autumn the trees shed their leaves, and the leaves which were of different colors during their lifetime, yellow, black, red, all these leaves become disfigured and discolored with the advent of autumn. They lose their lives and they gradually decay. The west wind, what it does, it carries the dead leaves and lays them down to some place within the earth. It buries the dead leaves, so that with the advent of spring, which comes after winter, means after autumn there is the season winter, and after winter there would be the advent of spring. And as soon as spring would, means as soon as the cycle of seasons would give the opportunity for spring to exert its influence, then what would happen? Yes, what would happen then? There would be the process of regeneration. It would start all over again, and there would be new lives in the trees, in the plants, and in each and every aspect of our Mother Earth. Similarly, the west wind exerts its influence upon the atmospheric objects, the clouds, and it results in rain and thunder and lightning. And also the west wind has a commanding power over the ocean. It regulates the movement of the ocean, and of oceans of great magnitudes like the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. So these are oceans of great magnitude. And the west wind has the, means, what should I say, the monstrous power, right, to make the oceans move according to its own influence. So here we find the destroyer aspect of the west wind. And the coming two stanzas, we would find a contrasting feature of the west wind, the preserver aspect. So as I said, the poet P.B. Shelley personifies the west wind giving it a dual aspect. So till now we have seen the destroying side of the west wind. Now we would read about the preserving side of the west wind. So let us come to stanza number 4. If I were a dead leaf thou mightest wear. If I were a swift cloud to fly with thee, a wave to pant beneath thy power, and share the impulse of thy strength, only less free than thou, O uncontrollable. Yes, you can see what the west wind is capable of. It is uncontrollable. And the poet, actually, he wishes to be the dead leaves, the clouds, the ocean, whatever it is, whichever object is under the influence of the west wind, the poet wishes to be one among those objects, so that he can share the tremendous power of the west wind. Yes. The impulse of thy strength, only less free than thou, O uncontrollable. If even I were, as in my boyhood, and could be, the comrade of thy wanderings over heaven, as then, when to outstrip thy skyey speed, scarce seemed a vision I would never have striven. As thus with thee in prayer in my sore need, oh, lift me as a wave, a cliff, a cloud. So as I said, I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. The poet is done with his monotonous existence in this earth, his humdrum life, a life full of miseries, worries and cares, full of disappointments. He has lost his optimistic attitude towards life. He is turning into a pessimist. He wants to end his life. And here the existential crisis grips the poet. So here the existential crisis, it is a philosophical concept which grips the poet. I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. He wishes to drift apart with the west wind in whichever direction it is flowing. He wishes to escape this mundane earth, this mundane life. He can't fear it anymore, right? A heavy weight of powers has chained and bowed. One too like thee, temptation swift and proud. Make me thy lyre, stanza 5. Make me thy lyre, even as the forest trees. What if my leaves are falling like its own? The fall of leaves. And here we can find the poet is comparing the process of his aging. So he is approaching his old age. He is approaching the autumn of his life, right? And this is compared with the fall of leaves. The process by which the poet is aging is compared with the fall of leaves during the autumn season. So it's highly symbolic, and you would find more such examples in the poems of W.B. Yeats when you would read the modern poetry. There are the poems like An Acre of Grass. Then there are certain other poems by W.B. Yeats, and there, and we would come to it definitely in a later video. Then how the poet is troubled with the advent of old age. So, and many years before the modern poet W.B. Yeats, P.B. Shelley actually echoes similar kind of feelings. Yes, this is what Shelley wants to say about his old age. What if my leaves are falling like its own? The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone, sweet though in sadness. Be thou spirit fierce, my spirit, be thou me, impetuous me. So, towards the end of his life, according to the poet wants to share, Shelley wants to share some of the powers the west wind has, which might rejuvenate him to a certain extent when he is approaching the zenith of his life. drive my dead thoughts over the universe, like withered leaves to quicken a new birth, and by the incantation of these verse scatter as from an unextinguished hearth. Ashes and sparks, my words among mankind, beat through my lips to unawakened earth. The trumpet of a prophecy, O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Yes, this is what the poet wants to say. That similarly, as the west wind does, it starts the cycle of regeneration with the advent of spring. After the season of the fall, the autumn, there is winter, and which is preceded by spring, and the cycle of rebirth starts all over again. Similarly, the poet P.B. Shelley is worried about the lack of his imaginative power, the loss of his intellectual ability, his capability, the dead thoughts. He wants the west wind to carry away his dead thoughts. And the dead thoughts means he is unable to think of anything innovative right now. So he wishes for to freshen up his intellect, to freshen up his imagination, to to enrich himself with new ideas, new thoughts, which would be aided by the west wind. Because, as I said, the preserver aspect of the west wind, and in this stanza, the preserver aspect of the west wind, how it preserves things, how it gives birth to new things, new ideas, and new thoughts and new emotions, new avenues of the imagination. This is shown by the poet. So let me read the explanation from here. So it is a prayer to the west wind to draw out the prophetic ideas, now lying almost dead in his mind, and spread them over the whole world, so that they can steer men to an intense longing for a better and regenerated world. A prophetic vision. The poet wants to reform the world with new thoughts and ideas, and he prays fervently to the west wind to aid him in this process. So the winter of misery would be replaced by the spring of happiness. Happiness in the truest sense of the term. The spring of happiness. Right? Yes. So that's all about P.B. Shelley's most beautiful composition, Ode to the West Wind. I hope you have liked my explanation, my videos, and I will be back very soon with something new. So hold on. Thank you so much.